watching the Rosedale Technical College Halftime Report.
Back here at Canon High School at the half, Rosedale Technical College Halftime Report, Woodland Hills 42, Canon 7. Pleased to be joined by Candy Nagy, Assistant Principal here at Woodland Hills. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you very much.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on at the district up there. You know, a lot of new initiatives, one in particular that you're excited about.
We have a new code of conduct this year that we're really excited about. We're really providing a lot more positive social supports for our students so that they can flourish in the classroom. We can keep them in the classroom as much as possible. You know, those behavior issues that happen, you know, we want to try to avoid the out-of-school suspensions as much as possible so that they can be where they get educated, and that's in the class.
That's got to help the teachers as well in terms of delivering that to the kids, I would imagine.
Absolutely. When you have those out-of-school suspensions with that long absence, they're having a disconnect in their educational, spectrum, and we want to kind of keep them where the education happens and provide the social supports as far as positive behavior intervention support. Our code of conduct was recognized by the White House. We were invited to the White House, our upper level administration was, and it was really supported very widely nationally.
Candy Nagy joining me, Assistant Principal at Woodland Hills High School. Now, you were telling me about your teaching career. It started off in Arkansas, and you kind of moved around Western Pennsylvania, Laurel Highlands, Wilkinsburg. You ended up at Woodland Hills. How's it been so far for you in terms of your experience?
I really love it at Wilkinsburg, or Wilkinsburg too, but Woodland Hills especially. Wilkinsburg was a very different experience for me going into administration for my first year. Unfortunately, that position dissolved, but I was lucky to find a position at Woodland Hills as an assistant principal. I couldn't be happier. It's a very diverse school, and I think that diversity is our strength at Woodland Hills, and the kids really are very welcoming of everybody from every walk of life there, which I really appreciate.
Now, one more quick question before I let you go. 22 years, education, teaching, administration. Talk about some of the changes you've had to deal with and how hard it's been to make those adjustments with the kids.
I think foremost, one thing that is always the same is that every student wants a champion. So it's about being positive and supporting and encouraging of students no matter what, no matter where you are, and really believing in their successes.
Candy Nagy, Assistant Principal at Woodland Hills High School, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, excellent. Rosedale Technical College Halftime Report. Rolling on. We're going to join the Big Macs Marching Band, Canon High School Marching Band right here. Rosedale Technical College Halftime Report. Woodland Hills 42, Canon 7. It's Friday Night Rivals right here on 22 The Point.
Written by John Jack. This arrangement was penned by our own Assistant Band Director, Eric Schrader. Here is Cherry Ball.
From 22 The Point, he talks about some of the great things that are going on right here at the all-new 22 The Point.
Week, as you'll see, even with the Friday Night Rivals, we're trying to spread out the coverage to go to different communities and try and get everywhere we can. Obviously, it's impossible, but we will get there. And again, just trying to reach out to communities and give back here.
Our thanks to Paul and the folks at 22 The Point, also at Sinclair Broadcasting as well. We've had a great time bringing you Get-Go Friday Night Rivals, presented by UPMC. Rosedale Technical College rolls on after this. It's Get-Go Friday Night Rivals, presented by UPMC on 22 The Point.
This year in the Whitfield on Friday Night Rivals, and there's another one right there. But you're absolutely right. We talked about that at the start of the year with Pine Richland. They had that value of those guys that could step right in because they had seen so much time the year prior in these kind of contests where you can get your backups in. And boy, Woodland Hills is the perfect example of it. They have 21 of their 24 starters are seniors. So they're going to be gone next year. So how much experience will those guys have? I mean, even Peyton Hicks, who we've talked about this evening, the third running back in that three-headed attack, is a senior. So those guys that are going to take the reins for the Wolverines next year, these are the kind of games that are going to give them valuable experience for 2016.
Eddie Cottrell will kick away for the Big Macs. If you were not here for the opening kickoff, Woodland Hills won the toss, deferred, and Cottrell's kick goes out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. So flag flies, and it'll be a PPG Paints first down for Woodland Hills, and then an arm around the kicker by head coach Mike Evans.
It just shows you, too, the disparity between these two teams, and Coach Novak articulated it well there. And Coach Evans at the end of the half with John did, too. It's just such a gap. And so a lot of things did go right for the Big Macs that don't show up on the scoreboard. They got the deep threat going. They got a big touchdown pass. They nearly had another. Even though the rushing numbers didn't look like it at the end of the game because of some big, or the half because of some big losses, they got some movement on the offensive line and started moving the ball a little bit. So he's trying, you can see him going around up and down the sidelines, trying to keep his guys confident so they keep their head up in this second half.
Yeah, I get the feeling the needle is pointing up for Canon McMillan. New quarterback, as Coach Novak mentioned, and he hands it off to Peyton Hicks. It's Tyrese Robinson, just a junior, but 6'5". Big quarterback now working out of the shotgun for the Wolverines.
And forget prep for 2016, too. Peyton Hicks comes in. We just saw him with that carry. He gets 88 yards rushing last week. The fans are still getting into it during this breast cancer awareness month. He's a guy they might need in the postseason, knock on wood. Hopefully Miles Sanders and Joel Shaw are good to go in the postseason, but Hicks showed last week that if they need him, he's there and ready to go, so it's valuable experience for him as depth moving in to the postseason this year.
Robinson on play action, looking to throw. He has a man down in the corner, but cannot complete to Mac Hoots. That'll set up 3rd and 8.
Hoots had the touchdown, just his second catch of the year in the first half that got the scoring started for Woodland Hills.
Woodland Hills, 5-time Whitfield champs, 5-time runner-up. And George Novak also won a Whitfield championship at Steel Valley. Think about this, he went 1-9 his first year at Steel Valley, ended up going 53, 31, and 3 at that school before he took things over both as head coach and as athletic director when Woodland Hills was created back in 1987. Robinson looking to throw. It's a screen, but it's well past the reach of his intended receiver. So a 3-and-out for Canon Mac to open the second half.
It's been so long now, people forget he had to turn around Woodland Hills. Now, they jumped right into the fray and had a great first year in 1987, making it to the Whitfield semifinals. But, yeah, you look back at Steel Valley, where Novak was for 8 years, you mentioned it. They start 1-9, 3 conference titles there, 5 straight playoff appearances. They won the 1982 AAA Whitfield, and that was the first of what is now 6 Whitfield championships for Novak.
And a punt away. That is Chris Wilson who sends it off. His first punt of the night goes out of bounds near the 35-yard line. So PPG Paints first down upcoming for the Big Macs. Robbery, fraud, crime, help is here. Pittsburgh Crime Watch Daily, weekday afternoons at 4 on the all-new 22 The Point. And again, PPG Paints, your new